Hi Scorpio, this is your November 2021 spiritual reading. Now these readings in particular are very, very important and meaningful for me, and so they are a bit longer. I hope that's okay, but yeah, so just want to let you guys know, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. Alright, we have the Shapeshifter, which to me this card represents Scorpio. You guys, especially if you have Scorpio in your rising, like if you look back at your photos, you'll see that you look completely different. It's like every time you transmute your energy and you are vibrating at a new frequency, your physical appearance drastically changes, like more than other people's. It directly resembles what you're vibrating at, what thoughts you're having, what emotions you're embodying. We have the Orphan. We have Kairos. And we have the Mountain. Bottom of the deck, we have the Comic, the Mystic, and the Sustainer. Okay. So again, shapeshifter energy, I feel like you guys are very adaptable. Like you guys, what embodies your energy, the core, the essence of your energy is transformation and is change. And you have a very intimate connection with that. You understand, transformation requires death and rebirth. Something has to end. Something has to be let go for something new to come in. With Orphan popping out here, I feel like this is the kind, you may have experienced this energy, whether it was in your childhood or whether it's still now. It's you feel like you don't fit into this world. In a way, you feel like, I always say this, it's like you were on your way to a different planet, but you accidentally fell onto Earth, and you feel like your mother, and by mother I mean, like when I say mother, for me, I consider the earth, mother nature, as our most nurturing, loving parent. And for you guys, I feel like you haven't felt that motherly love in this world. And it's like you feel like your mom, your nurturing, your heart, your soul is somewhere else. I don't know, you guys might feel very alienated here, like no one understands you. And in a way, it's because you guys are connected to a realm that most people aren't. And for you, it's very normal. And I don't think it's easy for you to comprehend that most people just live on the surface and that's all they know. Kairos being here, you guys have a very strong connection to the collective unconscious. You might have a strong 12th house in your natal chart, but it's like you see through all the masks, all the veils, all the illusions. You see the truth. You see everything people try to hide. And I feel like even like that might play a big role in why you feel so out of place here, because no one is honest. Everyone is putting on this fake face, this fake mask that is so far off from who they truly are. And that just feels so inauthentic to you. And it's like that's not what you want to be. You want to find people who are like you, who are raw and honest and connected to something so much greater than what most people see. It's like you guys swim in the depth of the ocean where most people are just on the surface, playing on the shore. Mountain being here, again, with transformation being the essence of your energy, for you, like if Persephone's story where she gets thrown into the underworld and that's where she finds her power, that's where she connects with the Scorpio energy. And for you guys, I feel like this is a very common cycle that you experience very often, more often than most people. Usually in their lifetime, people have like 1 to 2 or 3 very significant instances of transformation where something happens in their life that just throws them into chaos, and they're meant to find their way out. And on their way, they learn so much about themselves. They're able to collect so many gems, so much wisdom, and they're transformed when they come back up. But for you guys, I feel like this is something that you're constantly experiencing. Some of you might even be very intentional about triggering this cycle, because what really matters to you, what fulfills you, is this inner growth that you have, this constant change and transformation. And every single time, you come out more empowered, so much more connected to the spiritual realm, to yourself. You have such a grander perspective on who you are. And what sucks is that as a society, we don't encourage that. There are no jobs really where, your main focus is going on this inner journey, unless you're a psychologist, which a lot of Scorpios are. But for you, I feel like it's like in the beginning of your life, you have to go on this journey within yourself, and then you're able to help other people through it. It's like you know the ways in the dark where other people get scared, they can't see. You know where to guide them. You know the way. But that being said, that means that, your life isn't that easy, and it's not like a simple, okay, I'm going to get married, I'm going to stay married, I'm going to have a job, have children, and then that's it. For you, it's like nothing really lasts, nothing stays. The only constant in your life is change. And I feel like if you're resisting that, life can be very difficult. If you're constantly looking for something permanent, you're going against your being. You're going against who you truly are, where your life is meant to take you, what your destiny is, really. You guys could have your North Node in Scorpio as well. There's something very significant about you having to experience and become this sage, really, and you're so familiar with this healing process, with this transformation process, that later on you're able to help guide people, help them heal, help them, show them the way to find themselves. But yeah, that being said, in this world, you're not going to feel like you're like everyone else. You're very different from everyone. What you're destined to do doesn't fit in society's roles, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Our subconscious mind doesn't abide by man-made laws. It's unfortunate that this isn't honored right now, that the divine feminine energy isn't honored, that going within, being more introverted isn't honored in society. But the best thing you can do is find a way to stay true to yourself. Let's see. Sorry. I'm drawn to so many different. Okay. Scorpio. We have she who frees, Carly, liberation, unrestrained freedom. And this is your energy. You know, it's every time that you go, in the beginning when you were introduced, you know, to this intense transformation, it may have been very frustrating. For some of you, it may still be very frustrating because, like I said, nothing is really permanent, but especially in your life. Like, I know, you know, sometimes, like for me, I really thought that I wanted a connection, a long-term connection. But when I was really honest with myself, I realized that that doesn't resonate with me, because what I truly believe and what I think relationships are all about, you know, coming together, not to be together forever, but to learn more about ourselves and to discover parts of ourselves that we were unaware of, because who we're attracting, you know, they're mirroring back to us traits and aspects that we have yet to discover. And when we both have gone through that transformation and become self-aware, and this connection just has had its purpose, then I think it's in your best interest, if your goal is, you know, becoming the best version of yourself, discovering yourself, just going on that inner journey, it's important to be able to let people go and to honor every relationship for what it offered you, but not to have the expectation that they're going to last forever, because it's not going to serve you if it did. But yeah, I feel like you guys are, either you've already discovered this or you will, you know, whenever you're ready to, is that what feels right to you is letting go, you know, not holding on to things that don't serve you anymore, that are no longer aligned with you. And I feel like once you are at that stage where you are able to be that guide for others, a big lesson that you will help people learn is letting go is the greatest blessing. It frees you. It allows you to ascend. Yeah, this is a big lesson that you learn in your life. And popping on top of the shapeshifter, again, it's something that becomes so natural to you. It's like looking back at your life, you know that you've been like thousands of different people. You're constantly changing, constantly transforming, and that requires you to be comfortable with a letting go, with, you know, not desiring permanence in any aspect of your life. We have she who resists. Oh my gosh, I was looking at my phone and the flash is on, and so it's like when I try to read this, there's a bubble of light. But she who resists, fearless, justified, and resistant. For you guys, this journey of feeling like an orphan, of feeling, you know, you could have been the black sheep of your family, like everyone else was so alike. They shared the same interests. They wanted the same things in life. They had the same temperament, but you were completely different. And while it was very difficult for you growing up, I feel like it empowered you to the point where it's like now, or if you're not at this place now, you will be at this point where you just don't care what people think. Like, you're gonna be your truest self, your most authentic self. And for you guys, you know, if you really embody that Scorpio energy, that's something most people are afraid of, that they consider, you know, taboo, or, you know, they're afraid. It's like you're so connected to the secrets of the universe, the occult, the dark, that people don't know what to make of that, because again, most people are just walking on the surface. They're afraid of what they don't know. And I think in the beginning of your life, this was something that bothered you and it hurt you. And sometimes you could have even pretended to be like everyone else, but you get to this point where you just don't care. Like, what matters to you most is staying true to yourself and being honest, and not ever being fake and wearing masks and pretending to be something you're not to please others. That's the area of your life where that helps empower you the most, is you choosing yourself over what everyone else thinks. You really, you don't care. Like, it doesn't bother you. In fact, for some of you, it could make you feel good that people don't understand you, that people, think you're so different and odd, because you don't even want to be like them. You don't want those kind of people to know who you are, to understand you, if that makes sense. All right, let's see. We have Iris, she who changes, transformation, change, enchantment. Again, this is your energy. It's interesting because these cards, there's like colorful ones in there too, but you guys, it's like most of yours is coming out, really embodying your Scorpion energy. But yeah, it's your connection. There's something about your third eye. It's you see through all the veils. You see in the dark. You guys might have a very, very strong connection to the spiritual realm where you can actually see more than most people can. But it's that connection that you have, and the more you open up to it and you deepen that connection, that's the point where you're able to help transform the world. Whereas the beginning of your life, you're discovering yourself. You're discovering to honor this process, this transformation process, and to feel empowered in who you are and to love who you are, and not let anyone make you feel guilty about it or make you feel like you have to change. And then it's at the second half of your life, again, where this is like second nature to you. You're so familiar with this. You're so familiar with all the aspects that you're able to help the collective. You're able to help transform, help the world, or help a community not be afraid of transformation. And thereby you're helping raise the collective drastically. That's, you're a healer, but not in a, some healers, it's like, they'll give you chants or they'll give you colorful crystals. You get to the point. You fix the root of the problem. And for me, that's the most powerful kind of people. That's the kind of people that I like to be around, that I would like to befriend. That's very inspiring to me. And we have she who battles, justice, fear, commitment, popping on top of mountain. I feel like once you, again, there's a significant shift that takes place in your life, where at the beginning of your life, you're focused on your personal unconscious, of empowering yourself, of getting to know yourself and feeling proud and fighting for your authenticity, not letting anyone change you. Second half of your life, you take all that wisdom that you've gathered and you help the collective. You become a guide for them in the transformation process. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you're also fight for those who can't fight for themselves. It's, whereas the beginning of your life, your life is kind of forced to be an uphill battle, and then you choose these uphill battles because it's so important for you to help those that can't help themselves. I don't know in what way, Let's see. She who battles. We have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, you're a fighter. It's like you've been through so much, you know, and I feel like if you think back to your childhood, you kind of wish someone who understood and who had gone through the same journey that you'll go through in your life could have protected you and could have been there for you and could have told you and been an example that everything's going to be okay. And I feel like that is what you're going to be for other people, for other people who are experiencing what you experienced in that first half of your life. And again, because you see the truth of every situation, like for example, and I'm not saying people should be vegan, you do whatever you want, but most of the time when we buy meat from the store, no one really ever thinks about where that comes from. But the scorpionic energy, you guys have to think about that. Like, you guys can't just, you know, focus on, oh, okay, this is at the store, but you feel the energy of that. You feel where it came from, how it got to your plate. And so I feel like if that's something that you guys feel passionate about later in life, you guys might fight for animal rights. Others of you, you know, it's just what resonates with you, but it's all because you see the truth. You don't just see what they want you to see, the illusion. And it's because you're so energetically connected to everything. We have the Emperor, yeah. And I was going to say that when this card popped up, but it's like towards the end of your life, you become very focused on the external world. Whereas in the beginning, it's all about that inner journey for you. You might feel more introverted. You want to stay hidden and you're very secretive and protective of your truth. You don't want to let anyone in. And you'd rather stay in the dark, whereas towards the end of your life, you become this warrior where you go out into the world, you go on these difficult journeys, and you're a warrior for people. You stand up for them, you help them, you save them. It's like you finally have the armor and the weapons, not physical weapons, but the wisdom that you gather. You finally have the strength to be able to do everything you've done in the inner world, and your, you know, the courage that you had. And now you put all that into the external. So you guys experience both polarities in one lifetime, which, you know, so your life is very, I don't want to say difficult, but very intense, very complex. Like I said, it's not, you don't have that kind of, I mean, you could have whatever life you want, you have free will, but your soul wasn't designed to come here, you know, get married, get a 9-to-5 job, retire, and then that's it. You go through everything life has to offer you. You really use everything in your life to help you transform spiritually and to ascend, and then you go out and help others do the same, and you fight for those who can't fight for themselves. Scorpio, you guys are my favorite sign. I think I've said that before, but all right, let's see if there's anything else for Scorpio. We have trust, number 32. And the unexpected, number 43. You guys might be seeing a lot of orbs. I don't know why these are really standing out to me, but something about this trust where it's, you know, there's something within you that always knows that you're protected, and that you're safe. And I think that is what really helps you go through this life, because again, you didn't really have anyone who experienced the kind of life that you will experience to help guide you. You just always, there was something within you that knew that everything eventually works out for you. Everything, even if something seems very painful and horrible, you know that somehow this is meant to serve you, and somehow this will lead to something even greater for you. With the unexpected, it really does feel like I said, your life is so very complex, and you're so unafraid of the unknown, that your life is very unexpected. Things that happen to you are unexpected, because the unknown, once you step into it, you really have no idea what's going to pop in front of you, what doors are going to open, what portals are going to open up and draw you to them and call you to them. But I feel like that's part of the fun. Like, you'll eventually end up enjoying that and wanting that to happen more often. Like I was saying in the beginning, it's almost like you guys trigger these experiences and these journeys, whereas other people, life kind of forces them into going on that hero's journey, or going into the subconscious mind, where you guys want to, because it eventually becomes very fun and enjoyable for you, because you learn, again, that nothing is permanent. You're okay with releasing. You're okay with letting go of what no longer is meant to stay with you, what no longer is aligned with you. But yeah, I think if you ever feel bored, know that you're out of alignment, because your life is never going to be boring. You're always on a journey. You're always in a battle, whether it's it's inward or external. You're always experiencing new worlds. It's like, like mythology, the stories, it almost feels like you actually your life is more like those stories than the real world, than like how people are living now. You guys are very divine. There's something very godlike about you, in the sense that like I said, you experience what people will only see in movies or in fairy tales, or read in these myths. You guys have a very interesting life, and so it's very important for you to stay connected to your own energy, to your destiny, and to not want to be normal, because I don't feel like you would even enjoy normal life. Follow who you are, be who you are, because your life, like, you could even you could write about your life and then eventually make a movie out of it, and like everyone would want to watch that. It's so out of this world, and when people watch it, they'll probably think like, there's no way this is real, but you experienced it all. So definitely, if you guys haven't already, maybe get a journal and just write down your experiences. Every time you go on these journeys, write down what happens, what you feel, what you connect with, because even though it doesn't seem that significant now, or you feel like you'll never forget it, it's once you go back and read it, you'll have moments like, oh, I didn't remember that. Oh, wow, that's so powerful. And you'll see your transformation process through these stories. So yeah, all right, Scorpio, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.